Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to talk about today, in today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of quieting the mind. And goodness knows this is a hurdle that I still deal with, not on a daily basis anymore, but on a weekly basis. Our mind gets noisy, and sometimes it's our consciousness, sometimes we're tuned into the collective, and we learn how to quiet it so we become a more powerful creator. Ever feel like your brain just won't shut up? I know I do. My brain can natter. And sometimes it's just a constant buzz of to-dos. You get stuck in that worry loop and the what ifs. And, why are we planning and praying for something that we don't want when we can create something we do? But if you are, you're not alone. Here's the truth. Until we learn to quiet that mind and train it, put a leash on it, train it, teach it to be quiet. And until then, we don't control it. And we're chasing peace instead of living in it. Why? It matters. We live in a world that rewards noise. We're all constantly surrounded and bombarded by noise, whether we have music in, whether we're always listening to something, we're so plugged in. Productivity, notifications, nonstop opinions. But here is the paradox of our life. The most important insights, the deepest peace, the clearest decisions, they all come in silence. Have you ever noticed that your most pivotal thoughts come in the shower, or when you're settling down to bed at night, or when you're waking up in the morning? It's because you're quiet and you're still enough to allow those messages to come through, to allow the guidance to come through. When your mind is racing, it pulls you out of the now. It floods your body with stress hormones, and over time, the noise can lead to anxiety, burnout, and even physical illness. And I know this is, when we talk about illness, autoimmune diseases, I call them disorders because I don't believe they're diseases. They are caused by stress hormones, and they are caused by our body fighting itself because we don't know how to quiet ourselves. Silence is empty. It's not empty. We seem in our world, we think silence is empty and it's not good, but it's full of all the answers that we're looking for. And that's the paradox. Like, it's a conundrum. So what happens when your mind goes quiet? Here is the magic, and this is where your magic lies. When you quiet your mind, your brainwave pattern shifts from a busy beta, which is important, it has its space. Those waves, we shift them into a calming alpha or even a theta state, which is really when you're tuned in to the creative field, to that field of creation around us. And that's where healing, creativity, and intuition live. Myself, I'm a musician. I have another great video I just made on the power of heart-mind coherence. Go watch that one after. If you're enjoying this, we'll put a link up there for it. It is so important to learn this, to tune in. You don't lose awareness. You gain clarity. You can hear that quiet whisper of intuition when you quiet that ego down. You don't escape reality. You tune in more deeply. And there's a big difference between when you're in fight or flight and you're shutting down. I used to shut down when I was in my trauma brain. This is different. This is a choice. You're choosing to quiet your mind. So you may be like, Becky, how do I do this? Well, here I'll share some really impactful ways that we can start quieting our mind. Think of your mind as a dog, and it's so out of control right now. And what we have to do is we have to slowly teach it and train it calmly. And then we get to a point where we can tell it to sit, and it sits. You give it a treat and it sits. Roll over, it rolls over. And that's what we're trying to do. So how do we actually get there? Simpler than you think, but it takes practice. Here are a few tricks and tips that I use. Number one, conscious breath. Why is this great? Because you're taking your attention away from the busyness. Take 30 seconds right now. And I want you to breathe in slowly. And breathe out even slower and longer, releasing anything that's holding you back, any tension in your body, any stress. Now do it again. And notice there's a slight pause between the in and the out breath. That's the seed of creation right there, that 0 point of creation. That's the space between your thoughts. It's that doorway to stillness. And now notice, do you feel calmer than before you started this? Probably. It changes your physiology. Number 2, you'll hear me talk about this all the time on my channel. Meditate, even for just 5 minutes. And I'm a very busy human. I don't like to create that dynamic in my life, but I am. I'm busy. I'm a mom. I have a full-time job. I have a business. I have, kid, so much going on. We all have a lot going on, but it's about making time. And I'm the queen of 5-minute meditations. And what I do, I go on YouTube, I type in binaural beats or like a healing frequency, and then I sit for 5 minutes and I just focus on my breath. Meditation isn't about not having thoughts in your mind, but it's about noticing them without getting caught in them. So allow them to pass like cars on the street. We don't grab onto them, we allow them to pass. And this is how we begin to train our mind. Let them drift by like clouds. You stay grounded, watching, not chasing. And the more you do this, the easier to get, and it'll make you more aware of your thoughts and your patterns on a daily basis. Number 3, super important in our busy digital world, digital detox moments. So even an hour a day without screens, no phone, no notifications, you can reset your nervous system. Stillness thrives when input stops. Our ADHD minds, so many of us struggle with that. It's because we're constantly feeding it the dopamine drip. Let it rest. Take a time out. And not just when you're sleeping, please. Number 4, my favorite. I was just out gardening, planting my garden today. Nature and movement. And second favorite, movement. I am a big gym goer. It's my meditation, my second meditation. So walk in nature. I love to walk barefoot on my grass. In the winter, when I cannot connect barefoot with the grass, I have a grounding mat under my desk. So I can always be connected with that grounding ability. Walk in silence, be in silence. Don't plug music into your ears. If you do, make sure it's something like a binaural beat, something just a frequency to calm your mind. Naturally, this will slow down the mental chatter. Your brain starts syncing with the rhythm of the earth because the earth has a pulse. And as you connect with it, you become in sync with it and you allow energy to flow out. You become a conduit. Number 5, mind dumping or journaling. So a lot of us, we want to dump on other people. Instead of that, dump in a journal. Sometimes the fastest and quickest way to quiet the mind is to give it a place to empty. Try writing down everything you're thinking, no filter, no rules, and then close the notebook and exhale. And if you need to take a step farther, take it and burn it. Not in your house, preferably. We don't want a house fire. So some misconceptions. Quiet is not emptiness. It's power. When you quiet your mind, you do not lose your edge. You sharpen it because you become more aware. You become more intentional, more intuitive, more powerful in how you respond to life. This isn't about escaping. It's about returning to yourself and the breath in your truth, because you begin to get to know yourself on a deeper level and not you behind all these masks and screens and messages. You begin to know who you are again. So I hope you found this insightful and helpful. I know this was one of the biggest hurdles I had at the beginning of my journey. I'm here. Reach out if you need some assistance. I do offer one-on-ones, and I have some pre-led courses in my link tree, soon to be on my webpage, or come join the Collective Spiritual Consciousness Facebook group. We're there. You can dump in there. So the next time noise feels overwhelming, remember this. You don't have to control every thought. You just have to create space. Stillness isn't somewhere you go. It's something you allow. I love that. So like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this, share it forward with somebody who you feel has a busy mind and may need this and find this insightful. Take a moment for yourself today. That's my guidance for you. My name is Becky Lee. In my next video, we will talk about more of the same type of thing. We're all about mindset work, spirituality. So I want you to stay grounded, stay present, and breathe. Peace. I love you.